G'day troops, this is Pink Rose Books again. I've on a day trip. I found a nice spot down the creek and I'll just set up, bang up some breakfast. Always check your area before you do a fire. This is relatively safe because it's a little stove that's got chimney and everything, and it's pretty safe, but you still got to check the fire ratings and stuff and make sure there's not a total fire ban, and make sure it's green or clear before you light your fire. It's pretty easy. That just goes in there, all ready to go. I've got the wood in the stove all ready. I'm just going to go up and bang up some breakfast. I'll show you what I'm going to do now, but I don't want to leave the fire unattended, so I'll go up and do it up here, Everything I need's in here. I'll just show you what I'm going to bang up for breakfast now. I might make some fritters, I think. The dog gets out of the road. First, I better wash my hands. Righto, we're ready to go now. First, I'm going to bang up the batter. Make sure that's clean. Throw a bit of plain flour in here. No need to measure it, no need to go to that extent. Just throw some flour in there, a bit of salt. Bang a bit of baking powder in that because it's plain flour. Grab the wooden spoon. Grab an egg and a bit of milk. That's all you need for this. Break an egg in there. Stir that up first, makes it a bit easier to handle. Stir that up. Snap an egg in there. Shove a bit of this in there, that's your batter. Give it a good stir around. A little bit more milk. That's your batter done, simple as that. Now you just cut up some ingredients. I've got some bacon I cut up that was left over this morning, so I might as well use it. I can find it in here somewhere. I haven't lost it. Got a capsicum and an onion here too to cut up. Just get out of there, Cassie. It's not yours today, girl. Back, girl. Grab the old sheep knife. Start cutting. Don't have to be fussy, no frills here. You just cut it up. Little pieces. Give it a nice flavour, the capsicum. Especially if it's a nice red ripe one. I did mean to bring my fresh herbs. I've got basil and dill and all sorts of things, 5 spice, and I forgot to bring it, so I'm not having our herbs in there today, but normally I've got herbs in there. Any leftovers, the dog can have it later. It's not getting it now, girl. Have it later. Bit of tomato gives it a nice flavour. Use the whole tomato. Shove that in there. This is a homegrown tomato. I grew it at home. Organic, beautiful. Throw that in. About a half an onion. I think a full onion might be a little bit much today, so I'll put a half an onion in there because it is a big one. Save the other half for dinner. I want to cut the onion reasonably small. Gives it a nice flavour through the bacon. Shove that in. Just a tiny bit more onion, I think. Right, now I'll throw the bacon up, leftover bacon in there. Give it a stir round, and there's your fritters. Fry them on the little wood stove. They'll be hunky-dory. There we go. We'll go and light the fire and get it going, eh? Now I've got everything down here, I'll light the fire and get these fritters under the way, eh? Always make sure you shut the lid on this once it starts so you don't have any accidents with fires getting away on you and that. You've got to be pretty vigilant when you're out in the bush. You can't just run amok. Once it gets going, I'll just shut the lid. I've got open the flute here so the smoke goes up through there. Just wait till it warms up a bit and off we go. Righto troops, I've put oil in the pan, I've heated the pan, I've got the belly on to wash up, and this, I found this in 2003, that's just an old car part. I put a hook on the bottom for this, or it's perfect for lifting my little thing up here. The lid off the stove, so I've had it for a long time. So I'll cook these fritters now, and we all go. Just whack them in. Don't have to worry about the size of them, just whack them in and fry them up till they're golden brown on both sides. Next week I'll probably have something different for you to cook. Beautiful. Well, having breakfast down the creek's a pretty good option, I think. Just using this rice oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I've got rice oil today, so you can even use the heart butter if you want to. There's good butters that are good for cholesterol and that. You can whack a bit of butter in the bottom if you don't want to use oil. Just about right. That out pretty good, I think. Break it open, give you a gander. Beautiful. all done. So that's all you do to cook your fritters. Next week I'll concoct another recipe for you. It's something a bit more exciting. Here's the finished product. Nice homemade fritters made from scratch. I usually put mint herbs in them, as I said, but forgot them. Beautiful. Yummy. I usually use my Eco Billy, but because I've got the little stove going, I might as well make a billy tea out of this here. Billy can save me putting Eco Billy on at the moment. Last but not least, why don't you buy one of my books? The link is in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.